Hello and welcome to EV Quest News Shorts, bringing you EV news from Australia, New Zealand and other places that we have been researching this week. I'm Adrian Maidment in Tauranga, New Zealand, and in Melbourne it's Akhtar from Carloop. Hello Riz.
Hey Adrian, as always, good to be on.
Yes, good to see you. We're trying a bit of visual this week as well. We might put this on we're not probably going to put it on TikTok because we might not get too many views, but we might put it on YouTube based on US policy. Have you had a good week, Riz? I've got to do some flight stuff.
It's been good. I think a lot of people are getting back to work, so things are just starting out for the year. The weather's been all right. We didn't get the storms that some of our friends up in New South Wales and Queensland got. Very windy up there. Hope everyone's okay. But yeah, overall, pretty good week for me. And what about you, Adrian? You been all right?
I've just come back from holiday. Actually, been in the beautiful Coromandel for a few days and a few key tourist things. I've been to Cathedral Cove. I went to Hot Water Beach. We usually dig a hole and sit in the hot sand, but it was too windy. But that was still nice to go to. But that's probably enough stuff. Not EV. I was watching for vehicles, coming the other way. I always do the, spot the EV. What model is it? But mainly it was Ford Rangers.
That's what's popular down there.
Yeah, Ford Rangers coming the other way. That's on the windy roads. Anyway, getting into EV news, proper EV news. I thought maybe we'd start off last week. We talked about the new Tesla Model Y release, the excitement all around it. And I thought, well, we had a week to reflect on that. Any other updates on that, Riz? Anything that sort of caught your fancy?
Yeah, a couple of things have happened. Firstly, production cars are already leaving the factory in Shanghai on the back of trucks. So that goes to show how quick Tesla sort of onto it. They get the configurator up for a few countries, including China. And now they've got cars they're already manufacturing that are heading out to showrooms. And some of them, you can sort of see on the back of the truck, some of the cars actually have the launch series badge on it, which could be for potential customer deliveries. Because if you're sending a car to a showroom, you really don't really need to have that special series because it's not going to make a difference to who looks at the car, given that this series will only last about a month or two. So that was interesting. The reports have come out that they've had over 50,000 reservations or orders within the first 24 hours.
Is that in China?
It's in China, and they're getting about 4,000 to 5,000 orders a day now on that particular new model. There's obviously large discounting on sort of outgoing model, which is what we're also seeing in Australia and New Zealand as well.
And I was reading that North America is sort of preparing themselves as well, aren't they, for the release, and there's some discounting starting to happen there.
Yeah, and production has started in Berlin. As you said, North America is also seeing similar sort of discounting. I had a quick look. The cheapest Model Y you could buy at the moment in Australia, a new one, is around about 57,000 drive away. That's for a white Model Y or 19-inch wheels. There's not a lot of stock of that. I saw one in WA, but Tesla's website currently is showing only, a handful of cars in inventory in each state and territory in Australia. So maybe they'll update that next week, or maybe they will run out of all of that. Another important thing on the discounting, it's on in Australia till the end of March is what their website is saying at the moment. So it means that they sort of expect all the inventory to have run out by the end of March, and then every order will be the new Model Y.
And a key point you said last week was saying, I asked you if you're in the market for a Model Y, what should you be buying? And you said get one of these current ones would probably be the best deal at the moment.
Definitely. It's a lot of car. It's the cheapest they've ever been. 57 grand is, don't get me wrong, still a lot of money. But if you were looking at getting, a car, a Model Y particularly, it's the cheapest. And apart from the brand new refresh, which people will have to wait quite a few, maybe 3 or 4 months for, if they place an order now, this is the best Model Y that you can buy today, that you can drive away in.
And we'll move on to some other discounting news. Usually I'd segue into an MG story, but no, it's in Australia. BYD are slashing prices, is the headline. Slashing prices across the range.
Yeah, they've done some interesting things. Australia has a cheapest new electric vehicle model. It's not discounting, it's the actual price, it's the list price, which is a BYD Dolphin now starting at $29,990 plus on-road costs, which in most states and territory will make it about $31,000 drive away. $32,000 drive away. That is a pretty good deal. So that's what BYD is now calling the essential variant.
That without a few bells and whistles, isn't it?
Yeah, it hasn't got the moon roof or the glass roof that it had previously. A couple of the heated front seats have sort of gone. The things that, let's just call it, are more comfort than anything else. It still maintains its 5-star ANCAP rating, so it's got all the as much safety tech as it had to get that car to ANCAP in 2023, I think it was. So safety-wise, it's like that. BYD has also gone, and I think they've gotten rid of the mid-spec sort of, or the previous entry-level model that they had. So now it's essential, and then it's premium. The price of the premium model has also been cut. Now it starts at, I believe, $6,990. That will have your glass roof, the heated seats, a whole lot of other comfort things attached with it. And the essential range can be ordered with deliveries expected in the March sometimes. They've done the same thing with the Atto 3. There's an essential version that starts at $39,990, and then there's the premium version is $44,990. I think $5,000 difference between the two. More sort of basic spec car for those that want more can pay more to get the premium model. Where they haven't made a big change on the variants is the BYD Seal. Same 3 variants available, but they've cut prices quite significantly now. So it starts at sort of the mid 40,000s now, the Seal, before on-roads, and I think it tops out at 61,990 for the performance plus on-roads, making it, I think $6,000 or $7,000 cheaper than where it was previously. So price cuts across the board for BYD, which is a great deal for consumers, and I'm hoping similar sort of essential range is available to consumers in New Zealand as well very shortly.
We'll stay tuned to see what happens there. Yeah. Well, we will mention MG because they're looking at bringing in one of their luxury brands into Australia, IM.
So IM is a premium brand from SAIC that owns MG.
There's a lot of abbreviations, Riz.
It is. They're the ones that sort of own MG and IM and a couple of other brands. So IM has been spotted testing in Australia. That was the LS6, so it's an SUV. In the photos, it looks like more of a sedan. So that happened last week. Now, just breaking news on EV Quest, but it has also, another model has been spotted testing in Sydney, and that is the sedan version called the L6. So two variants and two models spotted testing, which are likely to come to Australia in the first half of 2025.
Will they be under MG or are they going to use the new IM? Because it's getting a bit confusing.
Look, if they were listening to us, I would say go with an MG, because at least people know that there's dealerships across Australia and New Zealand. If you go down the path of sort of, Toyota with Lexus took many years, many decades to build its brand. Hyundai with Genesis. And then obviously there's a couple of others which we don't get in the Australia and New Zealand market, or we once used to, Nissan and Infiniti, Honda and Acura. Having a new brand might be more luxurious or premium, just confuses people, in my opinion. So use the existing brand reputation and know-how and get people through the door and sell both cars through the same showrooms.
Okay, we'll see if MG follows that sage device. In some not so good news, and this is actually in Tauranga. I'm just reading off the New Zealand Auto Car Magazine article. Tauranga's e-motorcycle maker Upco goes into receivership, and I've done a video on them. The Upco electric motorcycle manufacturer into receivership. They just got a deal with Australia Post. So that's not good news. And then it says the receivers have terminated all employees and ceased trading due to lack of funding, according to a statement. The basic Upco electric motorcycle was pretty cool, but I guess it's an example of, it's still a challenging market, isn't it, in the whole EV electric vehicle space.
Oh, definitely from the manufacturing front, it is quite challenging at the moment, just to see how everything is evolving. Or I hope those employees do find new work in the coming months and there is support available to them to make that happen. Never good when a company sort of goes into this sort of situation, but hopefully there is, more manufacturing can set up in the coming years focused on electrification in Australia and New Zealand.
And maybe we'll move on to, have you been driving any EV this week, Riz?
Yes, I'm driving the Cherry Omoda at the moment, and it's quite a good car for what it's priced at. It's under $40,000 with the current special that they have got going on. I think it ticks the box for most things, and it helps bring the price of a electric SUV closer to a petrol or traditional SUV. So all in all, I'm pretty impressed in what they've packaged. Obviously, price is the key there. It's available in some interesting colors. At the moment, the one that I'm driving is sort of a light pastel green sort of color, which is cool because, not many brands offer unique colors. But drive-wise, it drives well. There's one little thing that I think if they would listen to sort of bit of feedback and suggestion, the driver monitoring system is very... it just bings at you quite a bit. So, it says you're not looking at the road, which sometimes is the case if you're changing radio stations or something like that. But at other times, it's a little bit annoying. So hopefully if they can fix that, all in all, I'm pretty impressed. You get things like, lane keep assist. You get all the safety bells and whistles, including adaptive cruise control with auto steer, which is at that price point is pretty good. And it looks all right. I've seen a lot of people sort of stop and look at it, and which is not often you say that about, SUVs.
Just had a change of thoughts there. And any Carloop news? Was anything happening with Carloop this week?
So we've been a bit active on LinkedIn for anyone that wants to sort of follow and see what I've been up to. And we're, still working through a few of the market outlook reports that will be coming out shortly for industry. It'd be quite interesting to see now with all these price cuts, what is the follow-up? Like, how does the market react to this? And also, what happens to new entrants like Geely with their EX5 and some of the newer models that are going to be launched, such as these MG and IM cars that we've spoken about, because the L6, the sedan, competes with the Model 3. Now, the Model 3 is already at a all-time low sort of pricing with all the bells and whistles and the tech that it has. So, big year for EVs, and we'll continue to monitor with Carloop, and if anyone's interested, you can read some of the stuff I publish on LinkedIn, and definitely keep listening to EV Quest.
And also articles on The Driven, we'll mention that as well.
Oh, yes.
You write a lot of stuff there.
Thanks, Adrian.
That's correct. That's fine. That's kind of... and maybe any sort of last things, maybe calling this year of the Chinese car companies, has been any recent updates from, say, Zeekr or anyone in any news this week?
So Zeekr last week, the ANCAP safety people came out and released their top safe cars, and Zeekr X was their top pick for the safest, one of the safest cars out there, and definitely the safest electric car that they had tested in 2024. Zeekr, I think, is still getting customers and starting to grow in Australia, which is great. They've got some really good product coming, and they've got the product that they've already got. It appears people seem to like it quite a lot. XPeng is delivering G6s. They're getting more shipments in. That's also a good thing. A little birdie told me that there may be a XPeng Mona, which is their more affordable car, coming into the Australian. It's not coming to Australia, but it will be coming on a boat to Australia as a bit of a showcase of what the company can do, just like that flying car that we've seen at the shows that they're displaying. And then Geely, I also believe, is gearing up to get some cars out to Australian customers in the coming months. So all pretty exciting by the new Chinese brands, and we have not heard any more from GAC, Ion, but there's some whispers now about brands from NIO like Onvo potentially coming to UK and maybe even Australia in 2025.
Well, stay tuned for further news in these areas, Riz.
That's it. Lots to cover.
Okay, thanks very much, Riz, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Adrian. Thanks, everyone.